Yes, this week a very interesting app launched. It looks and feels like a news app. It's called Buzz News. But, as our panel are about to discuss, Luke Hopewell from Gizmodo and Claire Porter from techly.com.au and from PC Mag Australia, Claire, it's not necessarily a news app, is it?
It's not a news app. It's actually a domestic violence prevention and response app that hides a list of secret contacts in the help section so that if you are in a vulnerable situation at home and you don't feel like you can disclose to your partner what you're doing, you can get help without them finding out.
What a fascinating concept, Luke.
Absolutely. And it's, you know, the concern that was expressed a little while ago by a study that came out is that quite often in domestic abuse situations, the abuser will not only partaking in physical abuse and emotional abuse, but also a high level of control over the abusee's life. So that will also include controlling a phone and making sure that they're not calling someone or telling someone about what's going on in the home so that they can't, you know, get in trouble for what they're doing. So hiding this sort of stuff inside an app is actually a really, really interesting idea because it means that they might think it's just a normal news app, but you're actually using it as your cry for help, which, you know, giving people resources for that is fantastic.
So visually, paint a picture for me. What does it look like to use this app?
It looks like a news app. It's got Buzz News on the front. It's a very generic logo. It's got a categories of world, entertainment, sport, and national. And then there's like a little help section. And hidden in the help section is where you can hide your contact list of people that you would opt to turn to in times of trouble. And then you simply swipe left and swipe right across the top of the app to get help.
There's a weird kind of dynamic here where in kind of promoting the app itself, you're also promoting awareness of what the app itself does. Does that get a little bit complicated? Are they kind of banking on lots of abusers not listening to things like Download This Show? Which we would hope.
We would
that is
certainly
not
hope.
the go-to radio show for people that abuse their loved ones.
We would certainly hope, but I mean, obviously this is a great idea, and ideas that are helpful like this can hopefully spread very, very quickly. I mean, having apps that act as a panic button, for example, with a swipe left and swipe right, as Claire said, that's a fantastic idea. And if we have more of them, that rising tide will lift all boats so that we can say, look, this is the app that started it, and we can talk about that, but there are many apps that are in the background that you can actually go and download that maybe aren't as well publicized, so you can keep them on your phone secretly.
What would you change about it?
I noticed that when you actually are sending that cry for help, it just actually diverts to your Messages app. So if you're concerned that your partner's going through your messages, Buzz News isn't going to help you. It's just disguising the first part of what you're doing. But if you happen to get caught on the messenger screen before hitting send, you're in trouble. And if you forget to delete that cry of help and somebody looks at your phone, you're in trouble there again. So I wonder if they're inadvertently putting people at risk by forcing them to rely on the traditional communication methods. It would be better if you could actually send the message within the app like WhatsApp or Snapchat so that you don't ever have to use the traditional communications interface.
I also believe that if you really want to go hardcore and really hide what's there, like you can go into the help section and it does have that in there. They're relying on nobody going into a boring help section, but it depends how much somebody's looking at your phone. If they find an app that they don't recognize, they're going to go and have a look at it now that they know this functionality exists. Maybe have a section that's password protected with that messaging section in it so that you can have another layer of security and be talking to someone who can give you advice and have peace of mind on the communication that you have.
Also, the instructions for how to do it are a little bit complicated. I read it about 3 or 4 times over before just going, all right, maybe I can figure this out myself. And if you're a nervous person or you're in a nervous situation, you either need to have preloaded that information at a time where you're calm and safe and rely on that, because it's not necessarily obvious from the language what it exactly is that you're supposed to do. It becomes more obvious as you just try to use it, but those instructions did not help me.
Gestures might also be a good idea. When you use the new Google Maps app, for example, and you get really annoyed, traditionally you shake your phone going, goddamn thing, why won't you work? And then it actually brings up oh, you're having a problem with Google Maps. Tell us what it is and we'll try and fix it. You know, going to that help section if you're in, if you're in a situation where you're not calm and things are going off, you really need to be able to jump into the Buzz News section and maybe just shake it and indicate to the phone that you're in strife.
Yeah, it's a little too intricate. Even like the swipe left and swipe right. Like if I were in trouble and I was like trying to do that, like I would be nervous that I would then seize up and the app isn't reacting the way that I need it to. Like you need it to either be one touch or one shake, and there you've got your cry for help.
The app is available right now. Now, we'd love to know what you think of it. Let us know in the comment section down below after you've downloaded it. What do you think works well about it? And what do you think could be improved? Let us know down there. And of course, while you are still watching, you should subscribe. You should subscribe to the RN YouTube channel. Tons of great content comes out every week. Very big thank you to our panelists this week. We have Luke Hopewell from Gizmodo Australia and Claire Porter from techly.com.au and PC Mag Australia. And Claire, just for you, our producer has actually lit this logo pink in honour of your hair.
In honour of me.
In honour of you.
Thank you, Roy.
That is just how much care rampaging Roy Huberman puts into these videos. A very big thank you to him as well for all of his work throughout the year. I don't know why I'm making this sound like it's the last episode of the year. There's like 3 more of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another chunk of Download This Show. Of course, you can get the whole episode on SoundCloud, on iTunes, and of course, on RN. Goodbye.